Hello, this is Bart Sharp, author of Magic Speaks. And part of what I do is more of a shamanistic point of view of perceiving inside my body and other people's bodies as I work with them about where limiting energies are. And so, as we work on our heart or our liver or our spleen or down here where repressed emotions are, we start to create this free flow of life that enables us to have a more joyful, magical life. But one of the real crucial aspects of being a magician and creating things in magical, unpredictable ways and having that power to make things happen is the power we hold in our ovaries. Now, you may be a male and you'd be thinking, I don't have an ovary. And that's true. You do not have a physical ovary, but you have an ovary space. And it's where your testicles were before you were born. In other words, whenever you were born, the testicles kind of dropped out of your body, but where they were inside of your body is a space, an energetic space. And it's where the ovaries exist in a male. But the ovaries are all about, in a physical way for women, about creating life forms. And on an energetic or consciousness perspective, it's about creating all kinds of life forms, whether it be a book or a relationship or a job or a home. All of these things are life forms in their own way. And so the ovaries hold that power in the beliefs that we can create our dreams. It's a very important consciousness perspective. And so we have two ovaries, one on the right side, which is the masculine side, and one on the feminine side, on the left side. So on the masculine side, it's more of a linear perspective. That ovary is like the ABCs of creation. In other words, if I do A, then B will happen, and C will happen. Kind of a cause and effect type of reality. And it's the belief that we have the power to do that. And some people don't even believe they have the power to do that. But in other people, that's exactly how they think life is. You always have to do one thing after the other, and therefore you will make it happen. This is kind of like using a lot of force and energy as well. And that's the masculine side. It's necessary to have those powers. However, it's not the complete picture. The complete picture is masculine and feminine together. So to recognize the feminine side of our ovaries or ovary space is more of a non-linear reality. Whereas the masculine is always very linear, feminine is non-linear. And when we think of the characteristics of the ovaries, it's kind of the core powers of our self-love, our nurturing of ourselves, believing we deserve. Those type of qualities are there in the ovaries. So when we start to function in those places of loving ourselves and nurturing ourselves, we are developing the ovaries consciousness of the left side and feminine. And also, it opens in a non-linear type of reality and thinking to where things just seem to come into our world in unpredictable ways. In fact, for the ultimate feminine side, that just seems to be natural. Now, doesn't mean that that's for women only. Men can have that reality too. But it's development of our own self-love, nurturing ourselves, and the ability and belief that we can express anything we wish to have or do. So expression is a very important part of developing in our ovaries. And also the expression to protest or express dissatisfaction in our anger is an important part of ovary consciousness. And a lot of times as children, That's why the feminine side is not so powerful in people. They were told that they cannot express themselves and they cannot express dissatisfaction, and so therefore they need to repress their anger. And when this happens, the feminine side and the ovaries on the feminine side shut down. And the masculine side becomes more present. And we really start to believe that if we're going to really make anything happen in life, we've got to push through, use that anger that's repressed to push through life. Now, when we start to resolve those issues, then the ovary space begins to open up. The feminine side begins to flow, and we start to create in more magical ways. So this is the importance of the feminine ovary, is to be able to see how we have stopped believing in our creativity and our abilities to express dissatisfaction. When we can start to see that childlike person in us and how magical it was, and they could believe in anything and believe in all possibilities, therefore believe in, you can create anything in life as an adult, the ovary seems to be in sync with yourself. But first you got to really work on your self-love and nurturing. And on the masculine side of this reality to push it out. It's kind of a complicated picture, but this is kind of a general overview of all of what it is. For me as a shaman, I start working on how the feminine is repressed by working on the energetic side of the masculine that pushes out, that is always defensive, aggressive, controlling, and fearful. And it's just pushing those energies out and creating these walls. And that's how a whole lot, if not most people in America seem to function. They just got to control and overcome things, and they got to use a force to get through life. Whereas the feminine side was like, no, we use an invitation. We invite life in, and life seems to work for us, and it flows with us, and it comes out. And then we just kind of need to do some of the things to help that happen, and voila, it happens. It's that beautiful balance between the two. So I explore a lot of these concepts in my book, Magic Speaks, of how masculine and feminine work together and how they don't work together, and how the ovaries are important parts of it. Because our body holds this consciousness that can really help promote our magical being. And once we know this, and know what we repressed, and know how to open it, then magic happens. And so this book, Magic Speaks, really explores a lot of these topics. So this is Bart Sharp, author of Magic Speaks, and I invite you to have a more magical life.